Page 38 continues the trajectory of Jackie's time in the beginning of integrating baseball. So top of 38 says, while Dad's teammates grew to appreciate his contribution to the team, they ignored him off the field. For the first couple of months with the Dodgers, Dad stayed to himself or with one of the black sports writers. He said he felt the loneliest most when the team traveled. By June, however, things had changed. The team warmed up to my father. On train rides, they invited him to join in their card games. Eventually, Dad felt comfortable joking around with the other players. And if you remember, he starts in April, so it took about 2-3 months. There's a letter from Jackie to his wife on page 39 that we'll analyze in our virtual classroom. Again, starting with the dear darling that Sharon loves to remember. Page 40. While white fan reaction may have been mixed, but there was nothing ambiguous about the support from the Brooklyn fans and from African American communities across the country. They loved my dad. Black families traveled long distances to go to ballparks to see him play. They gathered around radios at neighbors' homes to cheer Dad on. Sports writer Sam Lacey once wrote, no matter what the nature of the gathering, a horse race, a church meeting, a ball game, the universal question is, how'd Jackie make out today? So this would be great evidence of Jackie Robinson is something that is uniting the African American communities and giving them something to not only talk about when they get together, but there's a sense of pride there. My parents and Jackie Jr. settled into a small home in Brooklyn, surrounded by a community that embraced them. There they met lifelong friends. As the baseball season progressed, Mom became friendly with a couple of Dodgers spouses, such as Gil Hodges' wife Joan and Pee Wee Reese's wife Dottie. About a month into the 1947 season, the Dodgers were in Cincinnati, Ohio, playing the Reds. The mood in the stadium was tense. Some of the fans started yelling at Dodger captain Pee Wee Reese, telling him that, as a Southerner, he shouldn't be playing ball with a black man. Reese heard the shouting, but refused to even glance in the direction of the stands. Instead, he walked over to my dad on first base. Reese put his hand on my father's shoulders and started talking to him. His words weren't important. In fact, afterward, neither man remembered what was said. It was the gesture of camaraderie and support that counted. As the two teammates stood talking, the fans got the message. They stopped heckling and settled down to watch the game. From that day forward, Pee Wee and my dad were friends, and they worked well together as teammates for many years. Page 43. Major League Baseball players on other teams had mixed reactions to integration. Even late into the 1947 season, opposing players struck Dad with their cleats or even pitched the ball at him, hoping to start a fight. Dad contained his anger. This was what Branch Rickey was so nervous about months before. He glared at his aggressor until he had gathered the strength not to throw a punch. The Brooklyn Dodgers won the pennant in 1947 but lost the World Series to the New York Yankees. By the end of Dad's first official year in the majors, his record spoke for itself. My father led the league in stolen bases and in sacrifice bunts and was the second in runs scored. He played in 151 of the 154 games that first season, all at first base, and brought a new aggressive style to the game. The Sporting News and the Baseball Writers Association named Dad Outstanding Rookie of the Year in honor of his hitting, running, defensive play, and value to his team. He was the first winner of this award. Top of page 44. During the off-season, a group of Black New York City fans organized a Jackie Robinson Day at Ebbets Field. They presented my father with a new Cadillac, a television set, and other gifts. Dad's fame made him a popular guest on radio shows. In October 1947, he signed a contract for his autobiography that was to be written with Wendell Smith. That same year, a public opinion poll named my father the second most popular man in America. Actor and singer Bing Crosby was the most popular. 2 years into Dad's major league career, Mom found out that she was pregnant with me. She hoped for a girl. In anticipation of a growing family, my parents moved from Brooklyn to St. Albans, Queens. When I arrived on January 13, 1950, she and Dad were thrilled. My timing was impeccable. It was off-season for baseball, and just before Dad had to go to Los Angeles for the filming of the motion picture, The Jackie Robinson Story.